I'm always the fan going to someone else's concert, and I'm just like, I can't go in, I can't go in. Like, why can't I go in? And this time they're like, you can go in, you're the performer. Go ahead, bring the cart through, put the cart there. You can take it to go to the bathroom. They can't go to the bathroom, but you can go to the bathroom. It was very noble and honoring. Anyways. Hey. My hair's starting to bother me, so I'm gonna pull it up here. It hurts. It's been tight a little night. Okay, well, today, as you know, was my Ich bin Kunst, I don't know if I said that right, performance in the Great Hall at OCAD University. It's April 3rd. Well, now it's the 4th, but April 3rd, 2010. April 3rd, 2014 from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. I don't know where to start. Shall we begin last night, maybe? Well, it's April 4th, 12:41 midnight. God, I have so much on my mind right now. So many people came up to me. I came up to so many people. It was great, to say the least. I don't know where to begin. This only happens once in a lifetime. Okay. Michael Simpson liked my photo last night of the jacket, which stunned me completely, and that was right before I recorded In Too Deep. Stayed up all night long doing the Little Witch cover. Doing the remix. Well, yesterday when I got home I was really beat. I was tired. It was after just doing a rehearsal, and the critique was yesterday. I don't think I recorded anything about it, but I got good comments. Paulette was like, wow, Tanya, that's ambitious of you. And I don't know if she's lying or not, but she's so stressed out. I could tell Chris pissed her off with the castle, and after I made friends with and Chris and just everyone who was there, literally, I made friends with. But the only thing, I didn't see Caitlin at all. She never, said anything to me, which I was just like, I really wanted you to say something, okay? But, I think they're, against it all. It's okay, though. It was just for 10 minutes, a 10-minute performance piece, same thing. And what I want to do, actually, is, post some more pics up. But, yeah, it was really good. Just trying to recount everything. What happens? Yes, I just came home. I said, oh, I'd do a video for a bit. Not at all, because I went to Ryan's birthday, and then afterwards came home right away. I was beat tired, and I just kept going, performing, and I only had 4 hours of sleep all week long, every night, so today I had 7, thank God, so I'm a little bit more energetic, but yeah, not good. Just don't get dehydrated, because that would suck, and I really need to get water in me later. Then, so I just practiced in my room a little bit, and I realized, okay, I have to make a list of all the things we have to do, and then I have to do the instrumentals and the backing tracks for everything, and get the outfits ready and stuff, and my outfit was ripped, and it didn't really look that great. There's strings hanging down in the crotch area, and it was a little folded and weird around the crotch. I didn't like it. It needs work. And plus the thing in the middle made me look fat, whereas the one I wore today was slimming, yet it looked very professional, kind of. It looked like it was a leather outfit. It looked like Lady Gaga pre-2008 or something. Wait, pre-2010, sorry. So I was really nervous and everything. Yeah, stayed up all night, had some weird dreams about performing, because I was so nervous. I just I have to do this and this and this and this. I always remember shake hair, run through a crowd. In the back of my head, I had to do those things. I had to remember, and when the costume changes were, and I had to remember what songs came after each other, and I was just okay, what do? I just said, just do hair shaking. That's it. You have to shake your hair. and you have to just be crazy and floor work and work. And I did more than I thought I would do. Although I wish I could have done a little bit more looking back on it. I always hope that I could do more and more work than what I previously did. More solid. I think, I'm gonna be honest with you, if I had solid choreography and if we rehearsed like crazy with a team, the solid choreography is the next step you need to take. You have to have just solid choreography, you have to know every move, and then I think it would be wonderful. But you have the stamina, you have the guts, and everyone said that, and I just have so much feedback from people. I'm thinking of filming the feedback from my family because they said the most. And Maddie, at the end, she gave me a hug and she's like, I just want to say your mom would have been really proud of you. And to have someone say that blew me away. She is so nice. She doesn't do it because she just wants friends. She just does it because she's a good person. It's freaking amazing. She's like the most wonderful woman ever, and she's a really, really good friend. I don't know what to say. It was Ryan's birthday and 21st, and we went out for dinner, all of us, and it was after the critique too, and we were just having fun in the bouncy castle. Everyone was excited for the opening. It was just absolutely exciting and everything, and we were all just having fun in the bouncy castle and talking to Chris and Taiwo and meeting new people, and just glad the critique was over, and like bitching about people, bitching about Jeffrey, which I saw tonight at the Burgers Priest. As I was having dinner, he never gives me problems, but he's a bit of a little bitch, but whatever. I don't know, Paulette and Jeffrey, Judith, Rick was there. I wonder if he saw JP. I don't know if he saw. I don't know if he saw, but I could have seen. Someone sent me a message. Oh. And anyway, so let's go back. So we're in Times Square. We're in Dundas Square together, and I was like really like, yeah, I was like all night, like it was just funny, and I was very confident. You know, I was just like, this is me. Finally, I've come out of the box, even though I wasn't happy with my critique performance at all. I was happy. We went out to dinner together. It was fun. Me and Ryan were just saying like, the craziest things. He was like, oh yeah, your crotch phone like vibrating. I was just like, oh, what is getting into you today? Like, all this stuff. Like, just like everything. It was just really crazy. It was just absolutely insane. And then, I was happy to sing In Too Deep. Like, I could see the older teachers were like swaying, like Judith, and everybody was like, yes, yes. At least you like it. If just a couple of teachers like it and stuff, and parents maybe, like, that's all that matters, because I like that music. So if they like the music too, it's all good. Yeah. And it made me like just be like, wow, this is the big thing. And it can get bigger. It can go bigger and bigger and bigger, like a big bubble. Like Pete was saying, burst your bubble. You can get into a big bubble. And it'll burst one day and you'll be like, I'm famous. He also liked my thing that's like, I own my OMFG up a little bit, I'm excited. Mike showed up today too. But yeah, Brandon liked that, and I was just like, it's nice and all, but we can never really be together. So as nice as that is that you really liked my status, at the same time I don't know what I'm supposed to react. Of course I miss talking to him, but if I give in now, and yeah, I don't want to fall back into that anyways, so I want to post a bunch of stuff there. So post like screenshots and things. Okay, so let's go back to last night. So yes, so we went out, we were all like having fun. They took shots, like I just got like a cranberry juice. then we went to, we just went to Dundas Square and we were like hanging out and having fun. Earlier in the critique, like, I guess we could rewind to the critique. I was late, doing the remix in the morning and things like that. It was just a really bad day. I was like, whatever, I'm gonna give it my all. It's almost the end of the semester. I skipped my class to do the remix, and when I got to school, everyone was already there. I was just like, oh my god, I have to set this up. Vixen helped me, and so Vixen helped, and he zipped up my dress, and that was the thing I was staying up late doing, sewing by hand. And I just thought of something. I just like, and my mom would really be proud of me for what I did. If I'm not proud, that's okay, because she is for everything I did. So, Maddie's right. Sometimes I wonder about Maddie. Like, how does she know all this? She knows everything. Okay, so then, so I'm also trying to realize something, is that I tried so hard to reincarnate Ollie. I tried so hard. Which is okay. But I did really try, and through it all, I mean, of course I loved seeing him again, and he does come up in my life sometimes, but the thing is with Ollie is that I don't know if I enjoy being him. I don't mean that offensively, but I've been conditioned into this, that I like this, and I do have some elements of Ollie inside of it, which I'm happy with, you know? And I think I've been conditioned into this Tanya being, like this little witch, Tanya. And of course, those elements do come out now and then. But it's okay to be a femme. And I think that's the interesting thing through all of this that I found, is that it's okay to be ultra feminine fucking and it's great, and you should embrace it. But strong, like Madonna, you know, like Robin, like those people that you look up to, like them. It's good to be that kind of femme, rather than Ariana Grande, for example, even though she's cute and everything. But I don't know if you get what I'm saying, is that if you can combine two of them or something, you'd, yeah, I think it's perfect that way. And as I said before, in the ultimate kind of relationship I would want would be with someone like Pete, who accepts me for who I am. This girl, you know, here, that's like this in every way. You know, being this beautiful, you need someone to accept you. You need someone to love you for who you are in every single way. And you can't just go like, okay, well, I have to be this way because then they won't like me. No. I've learned this year that whoever you are, whether it's slutty or bad, mischievous, evil, bitchy, anything, just be that, because it's who you are and someone will accept you for it. But the funny thing is, I'm not filled with any of those things. I'm mostly just happy and glad to be alive, and I love every moment, and I'm so privileged, and I just wish I could share that with everybody, and I'm hopefully doing that slowly, and hopefully inspiring people, hopefully making people happy, making people laugh. Yes. And as I've been saying, repeating over and over, like, what I really meant to say in my speech was, thank you, John. Because he made it possible for me to do this, and he supported my rebelliousness, like, and like the weird, like, oddity of it. I don't know, but he understood me, you know, and I felt like, he helped me, you know. He helped me become. He believed in me like no one else really did. You know, he stood behind me, and I appreciate that. I think that's that one milestone, that turning point that you hit whenever, you know, Barry Carl It's like, oh, you're a rapper. Oh, okay, cool. Everyone else too, like, oh, you sing on YouTube? Oh, nice. And there's that one person, that teacher, that really just it's just like, hey, you helped my dream come true. Like, I can't express any more, like, I can't, like, I know it's not true yet. This is just the beginning, of course, but like, I was so afraid before, and I was so shy, and I was trapped inside this fear that was alleviated once I saw that my teacher, John Cool, believed in me. And it changed everything, It's just like, it's okay to be weird, and it's okay to be crazy, wild, eccentric, expressive, all those things that I needed to be, that I was, that I couldn't let out, and therefore he's a very, very wise, smart, experienced guy who really made it different for me as a performer, and I owe it, or this is the beginning, and I owe it to him, because without him there wouldn't be this beginning, really. If he was just like any other teacher who was just like, well, you know what, I don't think you're cut out for it, or something like that, or like, I had a teacher last semester for critique, research, whatever, and it wasn't the same. It killed my vibe, actually, and I thought, I'm never doing this again. I don't want to do this again. This is scary. This is, I feel bad. I feel like I've embarrassed myself. I ruined everything. But I did just as badly of a performance the first time in front of John's class, and he was like, you know what? He wasn't harsh on me. He was just matter of fact, and he wasn't just like, oh, well, you're good, you're awesome, you did a fantastic job. He was just like, you did a good job, you're good at this and this and this, and you did this wrong, but I mean, you have really good potential and stuff. And the other teacher I had was just like it was very elementary, and it hurts. It still hurts that I know I don't usually hurt from criticism, except on YouTube. Like, what people say on YouTube really hurts me a lot of the time, because I like doing the certain way, like, I like echo, and I like the way I do my videos, and if people are just like hating on it all the time, it's just like, come on, like, this is my style. You can't hate on someone who has a style. But this teacher that I had before killed my vibe by saying horrible, like, it was a very harsh critique for no reason, like, but rather John cultivated my spirit back into the artwork, even though I was totally ashamed and embarrassed of my other piece, and I didn't do a good job on it at all, the first one. He cultivated it back in, or I don't know if that's the right word, but he put the spirit back in my work by believing in me, and I appreciate that a lot. Sometimes there's just people in your life that, that you just think, is that real? Is this a dream? Like, is someone that kind, to help someone just because? I mean, like, yeah, like, I paid him, basically. Like, we're paying to be taught, right? But then again, you don't have to teach if you're a teacher, and he went over and beyond teaching. He really put effort and soul into helping us as artists, each and every one of our class. He's so modest and diplomatic, as my friend said. My friend said he's diplomatic, and I said he's modest as well. And so, yeah, I mean, there's so much good in that. And another thing is that he, like, supported my rebelliousness in my art. not many people actually do support that, you know, but he did, and he also supported Chris's rebelliousness in the bouncy castle problem, which I love. I loved the bouncy castle. I thought it was fucking cool. But other people have different views on it, but there's no need for anarchy in this situation. There's no need for it. Like, you know, if this guy wants to do an art piece, you gotta let him, because it's not harming anyone else, right? But I mean, I'm kind of glad that he moved the bouncy castle, because, I mean, I wish it wasn't taken down entirely, but there wasn't enough space. But it's an interesting idea. The concept was very interesting. Although it was a little hard. It was a little rude, but rebellious, but exactly, that's the same thing with my piece. My piece was rude and rebellious as well, disruptive, you know, so, you know, everyone else was sharing the space, and me and Chris kind of crashed the space. I don't know how wrong it is or how right it is, and I don't think it's wrong. I don't think it's wrong. Do you know why I don't think it's wrong? It's just because in the process of making a disruption and a rebellion, it also, like, our piece also created happiness in some. So that is the answer, I think, because if it creates a happy situation in certain people, it's not a bad thing. It created good from evil. Just there's so black and white, almost like black and white, good, evil, you know, Book of Shadows. Gotta work on that song, and I'm gonna release it soon, so we gotta get that on the road. Yeah, okay, we should keep going with the story. So, what else happened? So that was the day of the critique, and it just went by so slowly. Eventually, after I finished setting up, which took forever, back and forth, running up and down, asking John. Oh yeah, that was the day before when I asked Jonathan for a million things, and performed in front of Nathan. Got Serena to video it, and then the critique was scary because I was ready to perform. I had my jacket on and everything. I was just like, alright, I'll take my jacket off whenever I'm performing and put on the thing and just march in. It's easy. But I was supposed to go first. I was supposed to be all set up and ready, and I had no idea. I don't know why. Maybe he said maybe my teacher told me and then I forgot or something. Like, it was just slipped my mind. I was just like, great, I'm late to this class that I was supposed to go first at. It was a disaster in that sense, and so I just set up as fast as I could, joined the group, and when we joined the group, people just kept talking to me, and it was really cool, and I was just like, ooh, like, I don't know, I was just, and like having like two guys like underneath, and you're like standing, and I don't know, it was very, I liked that. I liked having them at that level. It was very nice. What else? Well, I have a headache. I keep like moving my eyebrows up and down, and like opening my eyes really wide. I don't know why, but it hurts. Like, my eyes hurt now. So then, yeah, we finally got to James's piece, which wasn't finished, after Max's piece, and then it was James, and James wasn't finished, I think. And then it was Carly, or Carly already went or something, and then then Paulette was like, Tanya, are you ready? I was like, mine is like 7 minutes long, is that okay? Could I go at the end? And it was the end. I was like, okay, it's the end. Is 7 minutes okay? I might have to cut it down. And I said, like, is 7 minutes okay? I might have to cut it down. She's like, yeah, we'll just do it till the end. I was like, okay. So I got everything right, and she's like, do you have to test the sound? I'm like, yes. And then Maddie came, and she's like, okay, so you're gonna walk in, do this and this and this and everything. And so I went in the stairwell, I was like, I'm a little witch, and everyone started laughing, and then Chris was above, and they were critiquing his work at the same time, and John was like, we're critiquing his work right now, so just hold on, and then we'll get to you. And I was like, okay. So then, like, I was in the stairwell and just waiting, and then I turned around, and Claire was there, and she's like, and I was like, Maddie came, she's like, it's okay, babe. Okay, we're gonna play the song, and you're gonna give me the cue, and then you're just gonna march out, and then play the music, and then you start singing, and it's showtime, okay? It's showtime. And she's like calming down. She was like so nice. It was like absolutely amazing. She was like so nice. I don't know how a human being can be so nice, to be honest. I'm the exact opposite, so she's so kind. So then, yeah, it was, John came, he's like, okay, like, oh my god, and he's like, yeah, so, just do that, and I'm like, oh my god, okay, I'm ready. Yeah, so then we were testing the sound, I came out, and I was like, doing Paula was like, I was like, oh, testing, and I came close to the speaker. Every time it would make this noise, everyone would go, whenever the speakers squeaked, of course that would happen. And when I was setting up earlier, like some bitch over there, like doing her homework, I was like, can you not do that here? And I didn't even realize. I was like, oh my god, some bitch was like doing this, I'm so pissed off, can you believe it? And then, so I was like, oh my god, like, and then Paula was like, you can't bring the microphone near to the speaker, and you can't turn towards the speaker. And every time she said it, I would turn around, I'd be like, I know. And I was just so mad. I was like, I know. And I like walked away. I'm like, okay. I was just so pissed off. I was like, can you stop bothering me right now? Like, I'm just trying to see how far I can go, right? And it just cracked. I just cracked because, you know, usually I can handle Paulette, but I couldn't. So whatever. It was showtime, right? So then I was like, I threw open the door and I walked that way with the jacket on and everything. And I was like, I'm a little witch. And I said it like in my head, and it was just really weird. And then so I just felt everyone's eyes on me. I was really scared. I felt Nathan, and everyone was judging me all of a sudden because the entire grade was there, you know, and that was really, really intimidating. And okay, okay, so I just realized Humboldt's messaged me. He's like, I saw you live finally. I had such a good time. I gotta like edit this video. So let's keep going because it's 30 minutes in. So yeah, so I performed everything, and it was just very surreal. And I remember seeing my friends were smiling, and right at the front they were all like filming, and Serena was filming, and Chris was filming, and it was just really like, I don't even know. Paulette was like, and I was just like, she's pissed at me, whatever. And then I was just marching around. Oh, I'm a little witch. It was very formal. It wasn't like crazy like today was, but it was very formal and very like composed, which I don't know if I like that very much. So it was very composed, and I still want to sing that. So then I did that one, Into Deep, Transform, Book of Shadows, and Kunst, and then they shut it off in the middle of Book of Shadows. They're like, Tanya, we have to move on, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine, yeah, we'll look forward to seeing more tomorrow. I was like, okay. And then she's like, well, Tanya, that was amazing. She gave me like a really quick critique, and they said that the quicker the critique, the better the work, because if it's a really bad work, they give you more of a critique, but if it's a good work, they don't really say anything. So I was like, yes, probably did an okay job. They're like, so can you explain some of that? I'm like, well, it's a costume designed for this. I really didn't go into detail. I was like, what's that for? What's the art object? It was just, I was like, I don't know how to explain this. But I don't really remember what I said. I was just like, well, it goes with the thing, and it's supposed to be there for now, but I wish I had more choreography, but it is what it is. And I think she was asking about like how I move through the space or something, and it was very hard to answer her questions. I don't even know. Like doing Into Deep, and I was like, Into Deep, which was very inappropriate, but whatever. And I was being very sensitive, kind of moving, but I didn't move into the space. I only moved in one area, which I always do. I always like have a section, like a domesticated section. It was very stale and hard to perform, but people were watching, And then they were like, whatever, I don't have to watch. But there were a lot of people hanging off the balcony. I'm sure like people knew who I was and things like that. And Seamus also knew. He helped me a lot yesterday, getting all the stuff. He was perfect, and he gave me everything I needed. And then afterwards, everyone came up to me like, you should move more, you should go through this space, push people, like, go through them, and like, and then Brian's like, but you take criticism really well, like, you really, like, learn from it, and you take the criticism and you work with it and stuff. I was like, thank you, Brian. And everyone was like, yeah, it was really good, Tanya. And Sarah came up and she's like, I finally saw you perform, it's wonderful. And like, it was just awkward talking to some people. I felt like I wasn't really me, but it was really great, you know, having people come up and be nice about it and stuff and talk to me. And then John was like, good job, and he hugged me like again like twice. He kept hugging me. I was like, oh my god. And this was the best thing about In Too Deep. Paulette wasn't dancing, but I saw Kale dancing, and I saw smiles on all my friends' faces, and I remember coming up close to everyone like this and looking in their faces and like really being fierce about it and like just connecting with them kind of, but I should have pushed past them. And the smaller the audience, the more you want to interact and make a show, you know, sit back and do your own thing. But yeah, so I saw Kale dancing. I think it was in Kunst or something, or Transform, and he was like really just dancing for fun. And Josh, I don't know if Josh was there. Then I can transform, watch me explore. Whenever I did In Too Deep, when it went like down the mix and went da 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 da. It was just like perfect, and I was just like marching around. And I saw him, he was like, yes! And I was just like, great! And then this time, whenever I was performing In Too Deep, I was like, I'm really gonna burst your bubbles. Just to John, like, just to be like funny about it. Burst your bubble. That's cheesy, isn't it? And she's like, no, it's not, it's good. She really coached me well. And, yeah, okay, so yeah, it was thrilling to do the black book thing. It didn't really work out with the jacket, and then this time I actually had it hooked onto my belt, which was absolutely wonderful because I could just take off the jacket, put it on, it was fine, and I had a costume change. It was wonderful, it really was. And then, and I remember before, okay, yeah, so, I guess that's basically it. And then me and my friends went into the Jumpy Castle and had a blast, like the time of our lives, jumping in the Jumpy Castle with Chris. And I was talking to Chris, and I was like, what's wrong? Like, what happened? And he was like, well, like, they took it down. Were you there when they were, like, bitching about my piece? I was like, no, I didn't know, and stuff. And then, yeah, then we all, like, went crazy and went into the castle, and Caitlin wasn't there. Those were the two, they were, like, pissed at Chris. So once they left, it was just like, yeah. Okay, we all went crazy into the castle, and we all, like, broke some rules, and apparently the security guard came. Are you authorized, hun, or something like that? I'm just like, oh god. And I didn't even notice, she told me after. And, whatever is the critique, and a lot of people came out to see me, which was amazing. For Ryan's birthday, and we were like, oh, Johnny Rockets, and I was like, no, at all. So I just walked and had fun walking and being crazy, and, like, I was especially just laughing all night long, basically. And then we went to the Hard Rock Cafe, and we sat down. Chong was like, why aren't you in music school? You should be in a music school. And I was like, oh my god. And Brian was like, yeah, you take criticism so well. I was like, wow, my mom always said you have to be able to take criticism. And now I'm taking it, and it's, like, she would be proud. And she was always like, she didn't want me to be this, but the fact that I want this so badly, I think she thinks that there's nothing else I should be doing. And, that's the main truth, I think, of it all, is that, you know, I grew up with a negative stigmatism around acting, singing, and theatrical performance, and just anything to do with show business. And I understand that, and I know exactly why, because they fucking trick you. They love to pretend that you can join their label, and they lock you into something that you can't get out of. It's a horrible thing. And as well as getting an agent and having, you know, people just steal your money and things like that, and the harsh criticisms out there for applying for that, and I understand. And when I was 12, I was just like, I just want to do acting. But now, the magnitude of passion that I have behind all of this overrides any of the doubt that I was taught and brought up with before. And now I really want to make this real. Being 20 and 21, 20, I feel like I'm 19 still, but being 21 and almost 22, you know, I have like 8 years before, you know, you're not allowed to be played on the radio anymore. You can't be 26 or something and be played on the radio. It's not done. You know, this has to be done. Like Lady Gaga had it, you know? She's probably already famous by this time. Katie B is 23 right now. So, you know, it's not impossible. It's just, you know, get on it. And hopefully after this summer, when I have a little bit more free time to actually get stuff done, I can go ahead and do that. I don't look half bad in leather shorts and heels, you know. I can work that out. Maybe we can work it out. I love singing constantly. You know, I love being watched and having people like see me and things like that. It's just so nice to have everyone come out and support, and the people and friends I've made, and it's just wonderful. So yeah, I had to say thank you to everyone. I had to. We went to the bus and I went home, and I was walking and I was thinking, wow. It's a full moon today, by the way. I was thinking, wow, I need so badly to go to sleep. Then I woke up and I was like, gotta work. So I made a schedule and we got everything done basically, and it was very of doing nails and watching Son of a Gun and posting pictures and working on the stuff. And then I went to sleep after, and very late, 6 in the morning. Woke up 7 hours later at 1, and then at 2, and then I was like, I have to be at school soon. And it was 2:30, 2:45, 3, 4. I was really on the ball though, because I knew I had to go, knew I had to be efficient, knew I could get there on time. I just had to make sure that everything was in place. So I did all my makeup and the hair and everything. I kept my hair in the same way. I was like, I have to keep it like this, frizzy. It has to be frizzy, a performance. So yeah, that worked out fine. And then I got there a little late. I got a ride to the subway. Oh yeah, I just showed my dad how to use the camera, which was funny. I was like, this is how you use it, this is the tripod, like, you turn it on like this. I have a video of me teaching him how to do it, and then we did that, and then I was like, okay, gotta get on the board, and I called her and everything. I was like, you have to come with Naveed, and I was thinking of Naveed, how cute it is. I missed him, I haven't seen him all, so I was thinking he'd dance with me and stuff. So by the time I got to school, through the subway, I was listening to music, I was listening to the remixes, I was thinking of when I have to move and stuff like that, and very excited, very thrilled, but very scared when I heard that my mix stopped in the middle of In Too Deep, and then it continued after a little glitch, but people started clapping, and then I was just like that. And anyway, so yeah, I was like, oh god, how am I going to play this off? But I did, because I couldn't go back now and just fix it. So by the time I got to school, I was very nervous. I got there, and I went to the cage and got all the equipment. Almerinda and Leah gave me a shitload of problems, and they were very negative, and I, whatever Almerinda, whatever Leah, whatever her though, because everything went fine after that, sort of. Then I saw Mike in the hallway, and I was just like, oh Mike, hey, thanks for coming. I fixed all my equipment up, and I took it down. I realized I didn't have batteries, went back up, got the batteries. Almerinda was like, do you have batteries? I was like, yeah, I do. I put them in, and everything was working out fine. I dropped the thing when I got downstairs. The guy said, you have to go around with the cart, and I went around with the cart and went in, and then it turned alive basically after that. Like, everyone was there. I saw Rick, I saw like Judith, I saw like all the teachers, all my friends. I saw Brian, Vixen. I went to the back of the room, Maddie, her dad. I was really intimidated. I was like, great, there's so many people here. How is this going to work? It ended up working, and I did everything wonderfully. I hooked the thing onto my belt and stuff. I clipped everything. I set up a speaker system. The security and I became friends. We were like, every time I went through the thing, they're like, good, you're allowed to do that. I'm always the fan going to someone else's concert, and I'm just like, okay, I can't go in, I can't go in. Like, why can't I go in? And this time they're like, you can go in, you're the performer. Go ahead, bring the cart through, put the cart there. You can take it to go to the bathroom. They can't go to the bathroom, but you can go to the bathroom. It was very noble and honoring. Anyways, I made friends with them, and oh yeah, when I walked in, I had like a leather jacket, my love shirt, whatever, and the gray leggings, and I was like, do you know that we're using sound at the Great Hall and tonight? And he's like, oh yeah. I was like, is it okay that we do that? And he's like, of course, do whatever you like. It's OCAD for F's sake or something like that. I was like, yeah. And he was like the nice guy that like opened the door for me before, so I wasn't intimidated or anything. It all went fine. So then after that, I set up speakers. I was like, for the stereo effect, can I move this over there? And he's like, what? And I was like, seriously, I need to move it over there. He's like, oh, we'll see. Like, I don't want to cause any problems. But as the night went on, he was like, you can move it over there after I started playing songs. And like, I showed him how serious I was. I was really into this. And he was like, yeah, you should move it over there. I'm like, thanks. Like, what, do you think the volume's good? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, I'm going to turn it a little bit higher. And Brian was helping with the volume the entire time, like cranking it up and down, and he was so nice, and his parents were there, and I was just like, could you turn it up a bit? Can you turn it down? And oh god, it was crazy. And I started singing a bit of Aaliyah. People were like turning around looking at me like, oh wow. My hair was like back into like a braid that went around, and it was very messy, very like boyish and stuff. I looked like basically like a boy with lipstick on, and with a leather jacket, and my family thankfully wasn't there. Like, first of all, I talked to, let's see, the first person I talked to, I think, was Michaela, and then Nicole, Vixen, Ryan, Emma, who else? Vixen, Ryan, Emma, Kat Blumka, who I bumped into, and I'm sorry, Kat. And then I went around, and she was like, oh yeah, so you're doing a performance, blah blah blah, I really want to see it, when is it, this and that. And I was like, oh hey, and stuff, and they were talking, and I was just talking to literally everyone who was there. Carl just out my stuff, people, like I'm performing in like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It was just crazy. I remember Nicole's mom was smiling at me. This blonde lady was sitting on the chair. I was like smiling. I was like, and I was setting up, and she's like, it takes a lot of guts. I used to do theater and everything, and she was like really sweet and giving me advice. Like, I'm Nikki's mom. I was like, oh, Nikki. And like, yeah, in your program. I'm like, oh. I was like, Nikki, she's in my program? And she was like, yeah. I was like, oh, Nicole? Because I thought it's Nicole. I didn't know it was Nikki, right? So she was so nice to me and everything. She's very open, very beautiful as well. Very beautiful parents. There was Sarah. There was, I can't think of any other people really. And Lauren. Kale didn't say hi to me or anything. Jonathan was kind. Nathaniel saw me and stuff. And eventually I've set everything up, tested the sound, went around the corner a couple of times to test how it sounded, and testing, and everyone was like really excited, and it was becoming a big thing, and oh my god. And then I was really excited, and I played Eliza Doolittle, Me and You. And Paulette was like confused. She's like, what is this music? I had to test it, and we tested my song as well. We tested Kunst. People heard music playing, and they thought, oh my god, she's doing it and stuff. And then eventually I was trying to get Paulette's attention. Everyone was stopping me again. I was like, I should probably tell my teacher that I'm going to perform. Like, I spoke to some people in the middle. I can't remember who exactly was in the middle. And I was like, Paulette, does anyone know where Paulette is? Paulette. And I was like, Paulette, I'm going to start soon. And I saw Judith Doyle. I was like, oh, hi Judith, how are you? Like, how's research going and everything like that? And she's like, you look gorgeous, you look beautiful. I was like, thank you very much, both of you do too. And then, and they're like, oh, like, really? I was like, yes, you always do, like, both of you, in your own ways, like, you all look beautiful. And then, yeah, I was like, JP, where should I put the speakers, because I know we're supposed to go there, so how would we do it over there? And I was like, okay, that's wonderful, thank you. And that's at the beginning, whenever I was like, the snack table was in the way. I was like, people, why did you put your snacks there? Like, so we put the speakers on the other side of the room. It was all good. So I told Paulette, and I went to the bathroom and fixed my hair, and I started singing Little Witch, a cappella, doing my hair, putting it down, and everything, getting everything ready. People thought I was crazy. I started dancing and shaking my hair. I'm like, okay, I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this. And I went out of the washroom, turned on the microphone, and I kind of just went around. I was like, okay, Brian, let's test it one more time. Maddie's like, oh my god, babe, are you ready? I'm like, yes. She's like, okay, so do this. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm ready. I take the jacket off, and I go around the corner. I put the pink thing on, and we're all ready. And so I start playing Little Witch. I get on and I'm like striding a little bit. Oh yeah, my family was there too, but right. I talked to Kat Blumka, and then Kyla came with Naveed, and like, hi Naveed, you wanna watch me play? And then I was like, you can go up to the balcony. And then so Kyla and my dad both came down at first very nervous looking, and then I was like, you wanna go up there and film me? And then like, okay. So I said go up there, and then I set the camera up and everything was ready, it looked like, and I had all my stuff on, ready to go, my gloves as well, and then so like, okay Maddie, you can play it whenever I'm around the corner. So she did, and I walked in, and I kind of like stole the stage, basically. Walked in, I saw you standing there. Yeah, so when I walked in, I went right into the thing, and I kind of like moved around. It was deep in the night. People really took me seriously though. I started marching around and I saw people's faces. I was really getting into it. I love looking at the people and interacting with them and being in character and just looking around. I needed it to be a little bit more, I understand that. Like, I needed to play up the character more, but it was good. It was better than the other ones as well. And I was just going for it, even though my dad and Kyle were watching. I was just like, I gotta work. I went around doing Little Witch. Oh, I'm a Little Witch, don't you know? And it was a little hard to do it at some points, and at other points it was easier. Other points it was easier to sing Little Witch and Into Deep and stuff, and I was really proud of it. Then I went into Book of Shadows, and I went on the floor, and oh yeah, Josh was like, Tanya, are you performing? When are you starting? I'm like, oh, like 5 minutes, maybe less, and he was like, okay, alright. Okay, he was about to leave or something. I was like, oh, he was staying for my performance, which was really kind, and a lot of people did ask me. And a lot of people came up afterwards, like this random guy I don't know, he's like, is that your costume? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, it looks really good. It looks really good, like really good. I was like, thank you, yes. And he's like, did you make it yourself? I'm like, yeah, I did. I was like, oh my god, it looks really good on you. I was like, okay. Tomorrow though, when we go, I should bring a statement and like a name card or something that says Tanya Sherman, so everyone there can see that it's me who did that. I need to bring that. Like, maybe even tape the things down saying Ich bin Kunst by Tanya Sherman. You know? So they know my name, you know, I want them to add me and stuff. There's no advertising at all. It's just horrible. Need bookings. Okay, so yeah, so then I sung Little Witch, and it went into Deep, and I was just like, this is it. And so I like just strutted. I just strut because I felt that, and I have to strut. There's no way. So I started in the high heels, and then I saw, oh yeah, and so I took the pink thing off, put it on. I took the jacket off, put the pink thing on, strutted around. It was really hard to get it on. As I was dancing, I'm a Little Witch. People were taking pictures and stuff, and I would just go right up into their face and be like, that's the way it was meant to be, yeah. So then, Into Deep, yeah, everyone's taking pictures. I like made all these poses, and like I was posing for people and being really epic, I guess you could say. So yeah, I sung Into Deep, and then I sung Book of Shadows, and Josh was kind of watching at some point. I was like, and other people like Nathaniel, Taiwo, once you go black, you never come back. I was like very into it. It was very expressive and very, you know. And I don't know who else probably saw me up there. I don't know. There wasn't really many people there. So then during Into Deep, I saw Judith dancing, and I saw people enjoying themselves and smiling and wanting to take pictures, and I was really interacting with everyone and controlling the crowd, I guess you could say. People said I controlled the crowd, like Paulette came up after you said, and they're like, hey Paulette, like, I'm sorry for being, like, I'm sorry if I was angry or whatever yesterday, and, you know, yelling and things like that, and I was like, no, I didn't hear you yelling, you might have done it over there, I didn't hear, like, no, I'm really sorry, you were really great in critiquing me and everything, and I appreciate all your help and stuff, and kind of hashed it out. I was like, oh god, I better apologize. And she's like, you did great at controlling the crowd. I was so impressed. You did a really great job. I could tell she was sincere this time. She's like, this time you really did a great job. I was like, thank you very much. And it could be bad, it could be good. I don't know. She's like, whatever. Then I did Kunst, and I put on that thing, and I really was posing and stuff, and people were like cheering for other people, and I was like, oh god, and they were cheering for someone else doing the coke. I was like, ooh, they were so rude to do that, but you know, he was finishing his coke. It was done. It was just like, you're like partying, and like, this is an actual thing. Whatever. So I wrote the song myself, and I was like, and I could see Sarah, and she was watching it. It looked like she had tears in her eyes. Actually, she's very emotional about it. And I think she's with Kaylin, or was she with Michaela? I can't really remember, but she seemed very into it. She's very touched, especially when I was like, your soul slipped to the next dimension. And Maddie said she memorized the lyrics, and she was like singing along and dancing and stuff. I'm like, oh my god. Talking about the lamps and stuff, and how professional they were, and how professional she looked, and everything like that. I don't know, I couldn't think, I need to thank her more. Maybe get her a gift or something. I wanted to thank all the friends I met through these 3 years at OCAD, and my teachers, John Paulette, JP, and John, her believing in me, and helping me emerge as a performance artist, and all these things that I was saying. I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, everyone came up to me after, was like, wow, it was really good, like, did you make that costume? And I was like, fear, oh fear, not a fear inside, and stuff, and it was really good, mostly. And when I ended it, and I walked away, everyone started cheering, and I thought I'd come back around and say, thank you, everyone. And yeah, it was good. It was good, I think. JP was like, I kind of want the jacket. I'm like, oh my god, I'll make you one. And he's like, ha. I was like, oh my god. Yeah, I'm so glad I stayed in John's class. Hey, things happen for a reason. They do. They do. There's a chance that I'm glad I took. What else? So like, kind of like surprised, but not. And I was like, what's wrong? And she's like, I didn't want to throw you off. I was like, oh, that's why people weren't smiling. But like, my friends were smiling, like, and stuff all the time. They're like that. And so I was like, sometimes laughing, and sometimes like shy and things. It was good overall. Yeah, I liked seeing everyone's reaction. When I went upstairs to Naveed, and I was like, good job singing, Tanya. It was the cutest thing. If I could only like rewind and record everything people said, like how proud they were and everything, I would be proud of you too. I'm sure she was there. I remember asking her, will you be there? I was like, would you be there on my graduation? My high school graduation? And I'm like, yes. And I was like, I know you will, it's not even a question. She was there. She's there every time there's an amazing moment. We danced together. And so yes, that was basically the Great Hall. And afterwards, yeah, a bunch of people just came up. I'll fill you in on the details. Right now, I don't know what details there are to tell you about. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, there's just so much. And we were talking about everyone's pieces and how good they were and stuff, and everyone was really talking about me a lot of the time, and I really want to document anything that I missed, you know. Go hard or go home. I'm really proud of what I did, and in this weird, twisted way, I think that Pete was thinking of me today. And he doesn't even know who I am, but he was thinking of the girl who made the Son of a Gun jacket, which I'm sure Michael because it's not a negative thing, it's more of a positive thing, and it's kind of cool, you know? So, in this weird, very weird full moon twisted Little Witch way, I think Little Witch got her way tonight. She got to sing and dance pleasurably that she wished. She put a spell on all. Spells were put on all, and got a kiss from a prince. And, well, what's his name? The prince in Prince Charming, Pete Burns, was thinking of Little Witch tonight as she performed in a voodoo spell kind of way, black magic kind of springtime way, that Pete Burns was thinking of her tonight, as well as the trio of Michael, Lynn, and Pete. They were all thinking of her tonight. And that is why there is a surge of good energy in the universe. And whatever is meant to come true will. Put a spell on you. Okay, I'm gonna go, but I am proud from everything from the outfit to the music to the reactions to my wonderful curly hair. That's the color that I chose. I know I'm not born with it, but hey, you know, I do enjoy this color, and I enjoy seeing it on me, so hey. I'm proud. I'm so proud of this performance. It was really something. And I think I knocked the socks off everyone. And I can't wait to do tomorrow for the last time. And hopefully after that we're gonna get real bookings, and I want to keep doing this for the rest of my life, I swear. I'm making a pact with Satan right now. You know, because I know it's gonna be ups and downs, but this is what I want to be doing for reals in my life. And I love my curly hair. Don't ever straighten it. It's amazing. Like, look at this. This is exactly what you just need to have all the time. Oh yeah, I forgot to say one thing. Naveed was so cute. Like, from him saying, like, Tanya, good job singing, Tanya. And, like, from him just being, like the reaction on his face when he saw me singing, it was the cutest thing, and I just can't remember it very well, but, like, it was a foggy memory of him. He was, like scared, but, like, in awe, but, like, confused. It's just, like, the cutest thing, and that was, like, the most precious thing I wanted to capture, is that when you're performing, you don't capture the people's reactions. They capture you. You don't capture them, and it's really interesting to capture them. And my nephew, my little 3-year-old nephew, I love to pieces, and I'm so proud of, and I just was so, even more proud than my artwork or anything. I was just proud being next to Kyla, my dad, and Naveed, you know, in front of Nathan, in front of my friends, in front of everybody, and having my friends say such amazing things about me too. It's, you know, having Naveed there watching me, it was just like, it was absolutely amazing. He's so adorable too. I need to spend more time with him this summer, like crazy. He's so much fun. It was fun packing up the wires with him and things, and wow, the time you spent with people. And I'm glad my dad was there as well. Like, I feel like Mommy was there too. They were both there. They were both there, like they used to be at Havergal, like standing together, kind of bored, looking around, you know. They were there. Yeah. He was just kind of chilling up there the whole time, thinking, watching, and then he came and went around looking at the artwork. I wish I went with him. It was so rushed. There needs to be more of these. But, you know, there's only a first time, you know. So, If I have any more details, I'll put them in, but thank you for coming to watch me. I had the most amazing time. It was spectacular. It was so good. It was everything I've ever dreamed of in performing. I just wish I brought it a little bit more. I wish I worked a little harder. But all in all, I'm so proud of myself and the work put into it, and how much setup and practice and everything went into it, and the outcome was wonderful. So I have so much to say, but this is just the beginning. So this is just the beginning. Okay. I'm a little bit tender, really.